tying up another wet fly from Ray Bergman's book, Trout. This is a fly called the Kendal. Pretty basic, simple little wet fly. It has a quill slip tail. There's no rib or tip on this. It has a chenille body to it and a Schlappen hackle with a bronze mallard wing on it. The only caveat to this is that the recipe calls for Scarlet in the tail as well as the hackle and a deep wine colored chenille for the body. Scarlet's a difficult color to get a hold of, and deep wine, I've never seen deep wine chenille, but it is kind of a more of a claret color, I would say. So you could use, if you have some claret chenille, I'm just using red in this. So the tail is some red quill sections, as well as the throat and the body. So that's the Kendal. I'll get started tying. I'm going to start the Kendal with my hook and the vise. This is a Mustad 33.99 in a size 6. Debarb the hook. There is no rib on this and there is no tip on this. There's a tail of some Scarlet quills and then a chenille body and then the throat and the wing. So it's a pretty basic little wet fly. Now, the original recipe calls for the tail material to be a scarlet color, as well as the throat hackles a scarlet, and the chenille is a deep wine color. Not going to find chenille in a deep wine these days. I don't have scarlet. I know the scarlet compared to the red is just a little bit brighter. I don't know if there's like less red in it, so it's a little bit whiter. I kind of make it pink, but I know it's just a brighter red. And working on getting some scarlet hackles and maybe some quills, but I'm using red for today. So I've already got my slips cut for the tail. I'll get those together. I'm going to tie this in. You want the tail to be about a hook length long. Again, there's no tinsel tip on this or rib or anything. I suppose you could put one in if you wanted to, but the original recipe does not call for it. For the body, again, I don't have a deep wine. I'm using a medium rayon chenille for the body in a red. Imagine you could get some white and try and dye it yourself if you wanted to. So I'm going to tie the chenille in, wrapping rearward just a little bit, and now coming forward. A little bit more wax on my thread. Like a lot of other wet flies, this is the underbody. You're just going to come up to maybe about 1 to 2 eye lengths behind the eye of the hook where we tie in the throat. Now this rayon chenille, because it is carded, meaning it's wrapped around a card for shipping and selling, sometimes these get kind of flattened. So I like to just take my hackle pliers, attach them, and twist this up a little bit. Just gives it a little bit fuller body. So when I'm wrapping this in, I'm getting, like I said, just a little bit fuller body. Wrap that in. You want to leave plenty of room for the throat and the wing in there. So you're tempted to put in one more wrap. Try it. If it doesn't work, next time don't. Trim away the excess chenille. Now I'm going to smooth this area over a little bit for the throat. Might have gone down a little bit too far. If you start wrapping too far back, it starts to, the thread wraps get going down the bend there, and it kind of pushes the tail in a downward direction. That may be what happened there. Now for the throat, I'm just using some red Schlappen on this. Again, it calls for a Scarlet, but I'm just going to use some red. And I think depending on if you're tying this, you know, for fishing or just for show or something, or just for fun even, I think the red probably will work well enough. Tie that in so that the ends of those hackles are past the barb into the throat of the hook. Trim away the excess. Smooth this off for the wing. The wing is just some bronze mallard. If you have a couple of nice bronze mallard feathers, a left and a right, you can just cut the slips out of these and make a really, you know, nice wing out of it. I don't, so what I'm going to do is kind of cheat. I'm going to take some of these barbs here. I want to, some of these shorter ones here, just pull those out. And I'm going to take a good section of these and straighten these, meaning 90 degrees to the rachis here, so that the tips are all pretty even. I'm going to peel all that off, and then I'm going to kind of fold this up a little bit and roll this into kind of a faux wing, like that. I want the tips to go halfway down the tail. Keeping in mind, if you're fishing this fly, these mallard flanks, they look really nice, and the bronze mallard makes a really, really nice wing. I'm going to go a little bit longer. But you start fishing this, and all those barbs are all going to separate, scatter, swim all over the place and everything. So having something, you know, having a really, really nice, beautiful curved slip wing is pretty. You're going to frame it. But in terms of fishing it, you could just use this technique, which is a little bit quicker, a little easier. And the fly is just as good. Bringing my thread forward, I'm going to work rearward. Just covering all of those butt ends of that material. Cover all of that up. I'm going to flatten my thread, put in a whip finish. Now I'll put some head cement on this to seal that up, and then I'll come back and put a couple coats of clear lacquer and a top coat of black lacquer on that, just to give it a nice glossy shine. If you happen to get a little bit of head cement in the eye of your hook, which sometimes happens like that, it's always a good idea. Keep a couple of extra cut off bits of peacock herl, like some other flies that I did recently. I have these little pieces that were wrapped in, and then the extras were cut off, because you can always use that to go down the eye of the hook here and clean that out. Just a little tip. So there's the Kendal. Simple little basic wet fly, nice little pattern, easy to tie. Thanks for watching today. Thank you for joining me at the Vise today. I hope you learned a new pattern, at least a tip or trick here and there. If you'd like to help Dress Irons, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things for the video. You can also head out to dressedirons.com where you can buy flies, tools, stickers, and merch, or you can join a growing community over on Locals at the Dressed Irons Fly Tying Guild. You can also donate to Dressed Irons if you want through the link at the bottom of the description. I thank everybody for their ongoing support, as it really does help the creation of these videos. But what's important is to remember, only fly tying. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.